Sarah is currently behind bars after being arrested for the murder of Theo Silverton, but her main concern is no longer herself. Instead, she is desperate to make sure her young son Harry remains safe on the outside. However, with Kacey becoming increasingly obsessed with Sarah, the situation is set to take a deeply disturbing turn. The drama begins when Bethany receives a phone call from Sarah and tries to calm her fears by assuring her that Harry is doing well. For a moment, hearing that her son is safe gives Sarah the reassurance she desperately needs. But her sense of relief is short-lived. When Kacey enters Sarah's cell, she finds her crying. Kacey asks whether Sarah is upset because of Harry, immediately leaving her shaken. Sarah has never told Kacey her son's name, making her fear that her fellow prisoner has somehow been watching her family. Meanwhile, Bethany makes a worrying discovery at home while sorting through the laundry. She notices blood on one of Kit's t-shirts. The discovery leaves Bethany questioning exactly what Kit has been doing. With Sarah's situation becoming more dangerous by the day, her concerns quickly begin to grow. It soon becomes clear just how far Kit is willing to go to protect Sarah and those closest to her. Before that, however, Sarah receives a terrifying warning. She looks at a photograph of Harry and discovers that his face has been deliberately scratched out. Things become even more unsettling when Kacey casually mentions that several pool balls have disappeared from the prison recreation area. Sarah begins to understand that she may need Kit's help if she is going to keep Harry safe. Outside prison, Bethany later learns from Alia that Adam has taken Harry to the home of a new friend he met at Holiday Club. Sarah is horrified when Kacey subsequently shows her photographs of Harry at the boy's new friend's house. Panicked, Sarah immediately phones Adam and explains what has happened. She begs him to collect Harry and keep a close watch on him, terrified that her son could be in danger. Adam is understandably alarmed and confronts the mother of Harry's new friend Lottie about the photographs. Could she somehow be connected to Kacey? As the pressure continues to mount, Sarah decides she can no longer remain defenseless. Back in her cell, she places the stolen pool balls inside a sock and turns them into a makeshift weapon. It is a desperate decision, but Sarah clearly feels she has run out of options. Soon afterwards, she hears voices outside her cell and tightly grips the weapon, preparing herself for whatever may be about to happen. Meanwhile, Kit is taking drastic action of his own. He tells Bethany that he intends to threaten Kacey's son, believing it may be the only way to force her to back away from Sarah and Harry. However, Kit's actions quickly threaten to spiral out of control when he spots Brandon in the precinct and immediately chases after him. Bernie manages to intervene and stop Kit before things go too far. She warns him that he needs to start thinking about his own well-being instead of allowing himself to become completely consumed by Sarah's problems. But Kit appears unable to walk away. Back inside the prison, Sarah heads towards Kacey's cell with her makeshift weapon firmly in her hand. After Kacey made it clear that she knows about Harry, Sarah has been pushed dangerously close to breaking point. As she approaches the cell, nobody can be certain what she intends to do. Is she planning to intimidate Kacey, launch an attack, or force her to reveal exactly how she knows so much about Harry? One thing, however, is becoming increasingly clear. Sarah is finally ready to fight back. With Kit prepared to take dangerous action on the outside, and Sarah heading towards a potentially explosive confrontation behind bars, the situation could soon spiral completely out of control for everyone involved. Coronation Street's Betsy faces humiliation after Debbie's unfortunate blunder. Coronation Street's Betsy Swain is left deeply embarrassed next week after Lauren Bolton encourages her to go out for a meal at the bistro. But what happens to leave her so upset? Hoping to help Betsy regain her confidence and recover more quickly, Lauren decides to treat her best friend to lunch at the bistro. Betsy eventually agrees to go, but she soon wishes she hadn't after an innocent remark from Debbie leaves her confidence shattered. The trouble begins when Betsy accidentally knocks some cutlery onto the floor. Lauren immediately moves to help her, but Debbie notices the commotion and jokingly suggests that Betsy may be drunk. Debbie has no idea how upsetting her comment will be and certainly doesn't intend to cause any harm. Nevertheless, Betsy is left feeling utterly humiliated. The awkward incident comes as Debbie's family and friends grow increasingly worried about her frequent memory problems. Her recent lapses have included arriving at work wearing slippers and slipping back into her days as a hairdresser when she attempts to give Bethany an unwanted makeover at Audrey's salon. Debbie's husband Ronnie continues to step in whenever these difficult situations arise, but he is becoming increasingly concerned that her dementia symptoms are getting worse. Elsewhere, at the beginning of the week, Lauren visits Betsy at No. 6, but spends much of her time focused on her phone as she exchanges messages with Ollie Driscoll. Betsy is understandably hurt by her friend's lack of attention and later opens up to her mom, Lisa, admitting that she has been struggling with feeling lonely. However, Betsy later achieves an important milestone in her recovery when, with support from her physiotherapist, she manages to stand for the first time since suffering her stroke. Meanwhile, Lauren tells Ollie that they should take some cake over to Betsy's home. But will Betsy be pleased to receive their surprise visit? Lauren's intentions are genuinely good, but she appears to get things badly wrong with Betsy on this occasion. The exact way Betsy reacts when Lauren and Ollie arrive remains to be seen. Could this latest misunderstanding put Betsy and Lauren's friendship at risk? Coronation Street brings in new character for Dark Lucy and Tim's storyline. Coronation Street star Lucinda Sinclair is reportedly set to make a return to the cobbles after being away from the soap for 9 years. The actress previously appeared in the ITV drama in June 2017, playing an important part in one of Corrie's most disturbing storylines. Her character, who was never given a name, helped prevent villain Nathan Curtis from selling Bethany Platt, one of the victims of his grooming gang, at a service station before she could be taken out of the country. Reports suggest that Sinclair will return to the soap later this month to play a counselor called Beatrice in a single episode connected to Lucy Parkinson's ongoing storyline. Although very little has been revealed about Beatrice, sources have claimed that Sinclair's appearance will be a guest role. Viewers will remember that Lucy arrived in Weatherfield earlier this month as the daughter of Tim Metcalf's cousin, Richie. The troubled teenager has been facing a difficult time after her father was accused of killing his wife, Rachel. Following Richie's arrest, Lucy was taken in by Tim and Sally as the family attempted to support her through the traumatic situation. Earlier this month, Anya Dewan, who plays Lucy, took to social media to share her excitement about joining the long-running soap, describing the opportunity as a dream come true. Posting a photograph of herself outside the famous Rover's Return pub, she expressed how grateful she was to become part of the Coronation Street cast. She wrote that she still could not believe she was able to say she had joined the show and thanked everyone who had helped make the opportunity possible. The actress also described working alongside the cast as a blessing and said she was finally living out a dream she had held for a very long time. She ended her message by thanking her management team and teasing that there was now a new girl on the cobbles. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.